Hi everyone, welcome to Kitten Brush. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw Mr. Snake from the DreamWorks picture, The Bad Guys. So grab a pen and some paper, and let's get started. I'm going to start at the top of my paper in the center. I'm going to draw a slight curve. And then off that curve, I'm going to draw another curve, just going up, and then go on the other side and draw another small curve. And let's connect those two curves together. And this will be the nose for the unicorn jumpsuit that Mr. Snake wears. Now I'm just going to mark off some points here. I'm going to draw a curve connecting to those 2 points. And this will be the top of the unicorn's head. And let's go ahead and draw 2 small circles for the eyes. One is a little bigger than the other. There we go. I'm going to add some highlights, just add a small circle in each of those eyes and go ahead and color them in. Now go back down to the nose and I'm just going to add some circles here. One on each side. They're kind of slanted toward the middle. And then again, one is bigger than the other. I don't know how that happens every time, but it kind of looks cute that way though. So I'm going to keep it. Now go to the top of the unicorn's head, draw a straight line, and then go on the other side of the head and draw another straight line. And then we're going to connect those 2 lines with a curve at the top. Now let's just draw some small details here. Just some curves going up that horn, just to show the twistiness of the horn. Now you're going to go in that little corner where the top of the head meets the nose and just draw a curve. We're drawing the ears here. And then do the same thing on the other side. And then go down below it and draw another curve to connect. And now inside that ear, draw a curve, and then another curve to connect. And do the same thing on the other side of the head. All right, let's start on Mr. Snake's face. So I'm just gonna mark some points here, just slightly inside the corner of that nose on each corner. And I'm just going to drag down a line on each side. I'm going to start to curve this line as I go. Just curving around. And then let's try to do the same thing on the other side. Just curve it around until I meet that dot that I marked. I'm not going to complete the bottom just yet. I want to leave that open for Mr. Snake's fangs. So now I'm going to go up about halfway up on the face and draw a small curve for the nose. This is the top of his nose. And then I'm just going to go on the left side and create a wave there. So you're just going to curve it down and then come back up and connect it with the side of the face. And now I'm just going to draw a little line here across the nose, just to remind me that I'm going to color that portion brown. The bottom where his mouth will be, that'll be yellow, and the top will be brown. So just to remind myself, that's why I'm drawing this line. So go ahead and draw a nose slit on each side of that nose. Just 2 small ovals. And now I'm going to come up just slightly off center of the nose and draw 2 lines. And then I'm going to go on the left side here, just where that kind of the bottom of that wave is, and just bring up a curve, and then I'm going to come back to that short line I made and just draw a straight line going up toward the top of his hood. I'm going to try to do the same thing on the other side but mirrored. So draw a straight line going up toward the hood. And now I'm going to go back down to the bottom of that wave there, that curve off the nose, and draw a curve coming up toward the hood. And part of his eyes are covered by the hood. And so we're going to add some eyebrows here in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is just sort of show you that edge there, and then just bring a line up to the hood and then slant it back down. And you can go ahead and color it in. I'm just going to color it in black all the way. And now I'll do the same thing on the left side. So again, just draw a really bold line there, and then bring up a line to the hood, and then slant it back down toward the side of the face. And then you're just going to draw a parallel line there on top. And I'm just going to color it in. Now for the inside of the eye, let's go ahead and draw some ovals. I'm going to draw an oval in each eye, going toward the center of the face. And then we're going to draw some smaller ovals for highlights. Now we can go ahead and color those in. I'm just going to add a little bit more thickness to this right eyebrow. And there we go. Now for Mr. Snake's mouth, I'm going to add some small curves, sort of for the corner of his mouth right there. And instead of extending a curve all the way across, I'm just going to add a small curve right here on the side, and then go on the other side and do another smaller curve. And now I'm going to come back to that left curve that I made, curve it down and then around, and then curve it back up. This gives his mouth a little bit more shape. And now let's go underneath that mouth that we just drew and draw some fangs. So just draw a line, and then make a nice sharp point, and then curve back up to the mouth. And let's go ahead and draw a tongue. So I'm going to draw just sort of like a J shape, and then come back up to the mouth, and I'm going to follow that line, but then I'm going to make it really narrow, and then create 2 points there for the fork in his tongue. This gives the tongue a look like it's, twisting around. And now we can go ahead and finish up the bottom of Mr. Snake's face. So just go ahead and draw a line, kind of just going underneath all those little details we added. Just carefully trying to follow underneath those things. And now let's go back up to the top of the hood underneath the unicorn's nose, and we're just going to draw a parallel line just curving around the face, and then underneath his fangs and his tongue, and then back up around. I'm going to go ahead and go back up to the top here and meet it. There we go. And now we have the Mr. Snake's head done. So got most of that done. That's like the hardest part, right? Alright, now let's start on Mr. Snake's body. So I'm just going to draw a line in that corner where the ear meets the unicorn's nose. And then I'm going to come down on the Mr. Snake's cheek and draw another little line there for a guiding line. And I think I'm going to start on this bottom line. So I'm going to start there and just curve it down. And I'm going to create a little curved bend here. It's going to bend downward. Now I'm going to just continue curving that line down. And then I'm going to start to flatten it out here on the bottom. And then let's curve it back up a little bit. Now we'll go back up to that first little line that we drew under the ear. And you just want to make that line run parallel with that first line that we drew. So kind of straighten it out here. And then I'm going to curve it back down. Before I move on, I'm going to add some little wrinkles in the skin. So these are just little J shapes going along the bottom. Just makes this snake skin look a little wrinkly, a little creased there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and continue drawing this other line here. So let's go back down to the bottom line and let's curve it back upward. And then I'm going to start curving it toward the body. Let's extend it all the way to the body. And now let's go back next to those wrinkles. We're going to curve that slightly. And I'm going to leave a little line there to show kind of where it bends, and then just extend another line out from that. And let's go through the body. Draw another curve there, and then another curve, just sort of running parallel with that first curve. Going through the body again. Now we can finish up with the tail. So just making it a little bit more narrow where it runs parallel to create that tip of the tail. Now let's go ahead and work on some details on the body. So I'm going to go along the cheek here, just above that bottom line that we drew. And I'm just going to follow it, just curving down. But as I go down, I'm also going to make that space wider. This color is going to be lighter. It's going to be a lighter color pink. Just keep following it down and taper it down at the bottom. Now we're going to go to that line that's also on the ground, that looks like it's on the ground, and just draw another parallel line, just following it. And then do the same thing for his body that's furthest away. Alright, and there's one more thing left to do. We need to add the unicorn hair. They look more like spikes though. It's kind of like a unicorn dragon. So I'm going to go behind the ear. I'm just going to make a little point here, and then I'm going to extend a curve out, and then a point, and then curve it down. And then just make 4 more of these. A curve, make a point, and then curve it back down. So I just need 1 more. And there we go. All right, our outline of Mr. Snake is done. I'm gonna go ahead and color him with some alcohol markers. And I think I'm gonna paint his unicorn horn gold. So I'm gonna fast forward through this bit and I'll catch you at the end of the video. friends, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed drawing Mr. Snake along with me, and if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button to see more Kit and Brush videos in the future.